you son of a bitch. Cause Pawn's drunk loves ya.
Keep it light, keep it light, keep it light. Get it light, get it light, get it light. Get the light beat going, and get the light, and get the light beat going, and get the light, and get the light beat going, get the light, get the light beat going, get the light, yeah. And I'll say it, and you lay it. Crossover, spin move, jump shot, J. The voice of Harlem, yes indeed. Let me tell you what I need. I need money, don't need fame. No beef, no 50, no game. I am the light. I keep it tight. With all my might. You know how I do it. I don't even need no music. Uno, dos, tres. No music. No music. No music. Let's get ready to...
You already know this is Pawn's Drunk Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moo! Shot himself, a.k.a. El Adobo, a.k.a. El Sazón, a.k.a. El Borracho, a.k.a. El Café Bustelo, a.k.a. El Pastor de Boxeo. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this side of heaven. God bless you all. Ladies and gentlemen, the world is still buzzing about the victory of Shakur Stevenson out there in Madison Square Garden versus Teofimo Lopez this past weekend. MSG, New York City, my city. Also, shout out to Keyshawn Davis beating Jermaine Ortiz. Wiped them out in the championship rounds. Sending a statement in the 140-pound and 147-pound division. One supporter, Devin Haney, could face Crocker. A lot of people praising Shakur Stevenson on the pound-for-pound list. People don't know whether to put him on the number 1, number 2, number 3. Masterclass performance versus Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez, the guy that I regarded, the captain of the generation, the commander-in-chief. You know what? If it would have been anybody, if you would have told me, yo, if Teo at his best, who would get the best of him? Teo at his best. I always said when the smoke clears, it was going to be Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson. I said when the smoke clears, it's going to be Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson. If anybody would get the best of Teo at his best, would be Shakur. If you would have told me who, Haney, Tank, Ryan, Keyshawn, who you think, I'll be Shakur. If I would have to pick one, I would say Shakur. So shout out to Shakur. If anybody familiar with the channel, you already know I rock with Teofimo Lopez, 10 toes down, support at 100, support at 1,000. We ain't never gonna stop supporting the takeover. Support the man in the ring and not the ring. Support him as a fighter, as a man, and as a brother, and as you know what I'm saying, a person. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the family. Shout out to all the modern day warriors, modern day gladiators, the one that put their life on the line for pure entertainment. East Coast boxing was popping. Shout out to Shushu Carrington. Shout out to Coach Kimura. Great. It was an inspiration. It was motivation. It was an emotional victory by Shushu Carrington. Brooklyn, New York City was in the building. You know what I'm saying? It was loud. We was live. No brawls during the fight. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Newark, New Jersey as well. Jersey, tri-state areas. You already know, man. That's our favorite cousin, Jersey. Shout out to Shakur Stevenson did an interview. With Shakur Talk, and he elaborated that when he went and to medicals after the fight, usually the fighters go through medicals. You already know that Teofimo Lopez had a gash right there that needed to be stitched up, and Shakur Stevenson, you see the thumbnail. Shakur Stevenson elaborated that when he was chopping it up with Teofimo Lopez, he stated, "I felt bad after the fight. I went into doctor's room and seen Teo in there. Nobody else was in there with him. I didn't like that. They had a little convo. I spoke to Teofimo Lopez after the fight, and he told me, yeah, he had a convo with Shakur Stevenson. They elaborated on the performances while moving forward. You know what I'm saying? The power. Shakur Stevenson was giving it to his power and speed and stuff like that. Teofimo Lopez congratulating him as well. These guys known each other since they was young teens, so there was never truly a genuine animosity between both. There was always a genuine respect, but two of these guys that have the utmost chip on their shoulder, they know that they was going to have to compete throughout their professional career. Low Nose Boxing in the building. What's good, man? Low Nose Boxing in the building. All the members in the building. And man in the building. What's good, man? Jorge in the building. Real talk in the building. What's good, man? What's good? Smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Smash that like. Punch, do you feel like Tio? I'm going to be answering all of that because, of course, man, if people already putting in public, I got to state. But also, Keith Connolly, co-manager of Teofimo Lopez, debunk what Shakur actually said. He said the rumor that nobody was with Tio after the fight is nonsense. I was in the medical tent with him for most of the time. He was there. I was gone for like 5 to 10 minutes, period, where I walked back to the locker room to make sure his family was okay after he got cleared by the doctor. We left the garden and we hung out back at the hotel to 6 a.m. with Tio. That is absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct. I'm going to put the video when we was chilling with Teofimo Lopez in the hotel. Let me tell you like this. I was the first one to the hotel. I was the last one at the hotel. You know what I'm saying? Queso! I call $100 de super chari party gay con gasolina de me dice ay Un segundo. DJ Camelo, Alex Sensation, DJ Kali, págame la música, Yankating. Shout out to Bad Bunny winning the Grammys. I'm a dinga, Nila, Sugar Indeed, Legal Maleselo, Wagon in the beat, Indeed. Donado Salon, Domonomalum, said on Rook at it. You should. Shout out to Queso. Hope you're doing well, my brother. Hey, yo, why everybody telling me to eat crow, man? Hey, yo, Queso, why everybody telling me, yo, Punch, you got to eat crow, but nobody wanted to eat my crow when Josh Kelly won early that day? He said, hey, my man, what's up with the order of crow panadas and crow top plátanos? Kind of sad if true. Hey, yo, I'm tell you the details. I'm going to tell you the details because I feel like it's my due diligence to tell the details. And y'all know I was there. So let me give the details. All right? Let me give the details. Yeah, man, I'm still eating that crow sandwich, man. I'm eating expired crow now. Expired crow. I got crow smoothie. If anybody want to take your order, I got crow pastelito, crow pastele. If you want an omelet in the morning, we got crow omelet, and we got bagel with crow with cream cheese. If you want dinner, I know it's cold. It's still cold out there. We got crow soup. For dinner, we got crow burritos. All right? We got crow beef, crow burritos, crow turkey, crow. We got crow with tuna fish. We got everything. We got crow de lata. We got crow potato chip. If y'all want. Because, man, there was a lot of crows, man. A lot of crows this past weekend for me. A lot of crows. He said, Queso said, want to watch some crazy Asian Game of Thrones type of ish? Creation of Gods 1, 2, or Epic? I got to let me get that info right quick. Let me get that info. Let me take a picture of that. Hold on. Let me see. Wow. Let me take a picture of that. All right. Want to watch the crazy Asian game? Yo, if my grandmother was alive, I'm gonna say like this. My grandmother liked everything Asian. She laughed. She used to watch the Asian channels and laugh. Like anybody that speak Asian, she cracks up. She don't know what she's talking about. She likes everything Asian cuisine, Asian shows, Asian concerts, everything Asian. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's read again. Hold on. Let me post it up. Let me post it up. And if you see in the pen, if you want to get your DB3, shout out to Keyshawn Davis. Out here, man, I support the fighters, man. I support the modern day warriors, modern day gladiators, the one that put their life on the line. That's, you know what I'm saying? Modern day warriors, modern day gladiators, the one that put their life on the line for pure entertainment. Check it out. We got the takeover hat. We got the Keyshawn Davis sweater. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know this is my guy right here. And y'all know I've been supporting Keyshawn Davis since before he turned pro. So, you know what I'm saying? Go get it. I put the pin if you want to get your sweater and stuff like that. This is real warm, yo. And it's cold out here in New York City, bro. It's warm. The texture is good. Look. I'm telling you, we got some good cotton and stuff like that, man. Go check it out, bro. This is warm right now. I'm about to take it off because it's so warm out here, bro. Yo. He said, got the gear. You got the gear. Hey, yo. This is, to be honest, one of the best gears that everybody has done in boxing, bro. To be honest, bro. Look. I got it on. Hey, yo, bro. Don't make me model for y'all right now. Hold on. Check this out. Bow. Look at aha. What up? Look at that bow. Bow down. Look at the socks. Look at the socks. Why pause? There ain't no pause. I said, look at the socks, Mexican. Hey, it's pauses on socks. And now if I say, yo, look at my socks, is that pause now? I'm not a Shakur fan. Shout out to Dave Fernandez. Colo vente, peso, me dice. I'm not a Shakur fan, but with the performance, Shakur is another level of respect and no excuses. Tio tried his best and still a Tio supporter, of course, man. Never go and abandon the champ. I'm going to be rocking this hat all year long, bro. You never go and abandon the champ. We just going to give respect for who is due. Shakur Stevenson, one of the best fighters of this young generation. You know what I'm saying? He's a two-time lineal, 4th division world champion. Teofimo Lopez, 2-time lineal, should have been, if it wasn't for the politics of the sport of boxing, the whole world of boxing should be recognizing him as a 2-division undisputed world champion. That's the way that I see him. He was pound for pound when he fought Shakur Stevenson, right? We got Devin Haney, 3-division world champion, undisputed in the lightweight division. You know what I'm saying? Tio, Shakur, and Devin Haney is doing incredible stuff. They're not even 30 yet. They're not even 30. And let me tell you like this. Shakur Stevenson, I think he's highly capable of going to the 147-pound division and fight Devin Haney next. And guess what? I'm favoring Shakur on that one, but it will be a good fight. It will be a good fight. Much respect. And then imagine if Shakur Stevenson become a 5-division world champion by the age of 2 and beating Devin Haney, having it on his resume after back-to-back beating Tio and then going to Devin Haney and move up again and do it again. Hey, yo, I think about Shakur Stevenson, I'll consider that. I will consider that. Good looking out, Dave Fernandez. Good looking out. He said, yeah, Tank is done. Tank got another warrant out there in Baltimore. Bro. Tank got another warrant. Damn, man, I know they was plotting on this shit. They plotted on Tank, man. Damn, I did a video a long time ago. I said, yo, Tank is going to be fighting to spend legal fees. I said that shit like 4 or 5 years ago. As a matter of fact, the first time that we saw him go viral when he was manhandling his baby mama, I said he's gonna spend his whole career paying legal fees. That's what he's gonna be fighting for. That's unfortunate. Man. Leave them hookers alone, bro. At 135, he was Brian, and he deserves his accolades. Shout out, yeah, man. We living in the golden era. To be honest, I don't give a damn what anybody say. We living in the golden era right now, bro. We living in the golden era. I know. I said this yesterday. I've been saying it throughout all this time. Everybody is in love with the Haglers and the Hearns and the Leonards and Durant, and they all legends. By all means, they did great things. They captivated the imaginations of the boxing fans back in the days. But let me say it like this. What these guys are doing right now, if we don't support, if we don't acknowledge, when they retire, you're going to understand that what these guys was doing today was special. We seen Ryan versus Tank. We seen Ryan versus Devin the Dream Haney. We seen Teo versus Shakur. We seen Teo versus Lomo. We seen Teo versus Taylor. We seen Devin Haney go into the division where a lot of people thought that it was a dangerous fight, and he beat Brian Noman Jr. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys are doing some great things. The only difference is that they're not as active. The business of boxing doesn't allow them to be as active as they want to be. Is the business. If it was up to these fighters, they'll be fighting just like back in the days. The fighters ain't changed the rules. It was the sanctioning bodies and the commission that changed the rules from 15 rounds to 12 rounds. If there was 15 rounds a day, these fighters today will be conditioned and trainings for 15-round bouts. These are fighters. This is what they do for a living. Teo been fighting since he was 2. Shakur been fighting since he was 2 or 3. Devin Haney been fighting since he was 2, 3, 4. Ryan Garcia been fighting since he was 2, 3, 4. These are bred fighters, bruh. So don't put it on them. Don't put it on them. Let's go, E-Man, con los 2 pesos de plata, no me lo dice. Shakur stops Haney. Ooh, baby. Wow. Good looking out, E-Man, con los 2 pesos de plátano. Randy, la música de Randy, canta la música de Randy. Where is the música of Randy? I say, con los 20 pesos. A los fucking music, everybody. Me dice Randy. Me lo dice Randy. Dímelo punch. I've been on the crow con los 3 golpes. We eating crow con los 3 golpes. Mangú con los 3 golpes. Since Saturday night, all good win or loss, I still rock with Teo. Shout out to the takeover. The takeover, hey, yo, the takeover is going to end on an up and up 2026. I'm letting you know right now, Teofimo Lopez, the takeover is going to end the year on the up and up. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no such thing as greatness without a comeback story. Ain't no such thing as greatness if there's no adversity. Ain't no such thing as greatness, ladies and gentlemen, if there is no comeback story. Every greatness had a comeback story. Even Shakur Stevenson lost the Olympics. That's a comeback story in the professional. Floyd Mayweather lost the Olympics. That's a comeback story. Muhammad Ali, the comeback story. Mike Tyson, the comeback story. George Foreman, the comeback story. Teofimo, the comeback story. Let's go, baby. Duran, the comeback story. Sugar Ray Leonard retired at 3 years, came back and beat Hagler, ladies and gentlemen. Is the comeback. Ain't no greatness without a comeback story. Ain't no greatness. Mark my words. Teofimo Lopez, the takeover, the captain of the generation, the commander-in-chief, will rise again. Gonna be on top of the game late 2026. Mark my words, ladies and gentlemen. Greatness just don't fall. Ladies and gentlemen, his crown may be off, but his crown, he's just wiping the sweat, putting his crown back on, and gonna rule once again. He gonna rule once again. Let's go. Let's go, baby. He's going to rule once again. He's going to go back to Pride Rock. Even Simba left Pride Rock, right? And then the Godfather go out there and, you know, say he was in the water. And he say, yo, look, talk to your father in the sky, shit like that. And then he go, yeah, the king has returned. That's what's going to happen, baby. That's what's going to happen. Simba's coming back to Pride Rock. Simba coming back to Pride Rock. Let's go. Enrique con los 2 besos, dice. Everyone abandoned Teo except Papa Dio. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. QB prison the building. QB prison the building. Let's go, Sad Punch selling his used socks to the fans. Ain't no used socks. Look at the sock. Look at the socks. Man, yeah, it broke my heart, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to my guy, bro. Shout out to my guy. Shout out to my guy. He said that boy is done. Rico said that boy is done. Yeah, that's what they said about Muhammad Ali. That's what they said about Mike Tyson. That's what they said about Duran. That's what they said about Sugar Ray Leonard, where he broke his had a retina surgery, and then he was out, retired for 2 years, came back, retired for 3 years. They said that Manny Pacquiao was done, and then he came right back and beat Keith one-time Thurman. One-time Thurman. Hey, yo, ladies and gentlemen, they said that Keith Thurman is done. He's gonna go right back out there and beat Fundura. They say that Josh Kelly was done after the Avenesian. He came right back and become a world champion. The takeover's gonna come and rise again. The takeover's here. The takeover's now. The takeover's forever. Mark my words. I know what I'm talking about. Fuck out of here. Ain't no greatness without a comeback story. Ain't no greatness without a comeback story. Even Michael Jordan went to damn baseball, failed at that, came right back to basketball and did it again. LeBron James lost a couple finals. Stephen Curry lost a couple finals. And Tiger Woods lost, came right back after surgery and having sex rehab and came right back and won, baby. Came back and won. What are you talking about? What you talking about? Even Devin Haney got his ass whooped by Ryan Garcia, and got humiliated by the Carnival guy. And you had Young Thug fucking his shorty in jail and all that, and he still came right back. Beat Jose Ramirez, beat Brian Norman. Even Devin Haney rose again. Let's go. Every greatness got a comeback story. You can't tell me nothing. Every greatness got a comeback story. Every greatness got a comeback story. Mike from Boston in the building. Yo, guys, somehow you think that's because a black fighter won, that you personally won something. You didn't win shit. He Puerto Rican and black. Latinos live on. Hey, yo, shout out to Daniel Jacobs. He came right back. Had cancer, fought cancer, came right back and became a world champion. Ain't no greatness without a comeback story, baby. Ain't no greatness without a comeback story. Laugh now. Laugh all you want. Criticize now. Criticize right now. My guy's in the gym right now. Teofimo Lopez is in the gym right now. Yeah, getting back. Hold on. Watch this. Come on, man. We get right back up. I told you Teofimo Lopez right back in the gym. I told you this shit ain't gonna keep him down. I know my guy, bruh. Hold on. Check this out. Give me a second. Check this out. Hold on. He back in the gym, ladies and gentlemen. He back in the gym. Damn. He back in the gym, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be an easy pickup, though. He see it. He smell it. He see the hate. He see it. He walked out there all by himself. He see it. He smell it. He know who is who now. He know what is what now. Let's go. Man, the worst, the most dangerous man is the man that got nothing to lose. Shout out to everybody that been counted out and rose back. Shout out to everybody in the chat. That people has wrote you off. That you failed on something. You lost your job. You lost your lady. You lost your man. You ain't passed the test. You know what I'm saying? You was broke one day and a woman counted you out. Your people's counted you out. If you had substance abuse, they counted you out. And you rose back and proved to everybody that you stronger than everybody, bruh. Fuck out of here, bruh. Y'all can laugh when a man is down. I never kick a man when he down. Never kick a man when he down. You know what I'm saying? Gonna rise back up. Laugh. Papa Dios looking at you too. Papa Dios te está mirando a ustedes. God is looking at you. Keep on laughing. You're gonna see that rise again. Mark my words. Yeah, I've been down and out too. I got demons too. Yeah, I lost friends too. Yeah, go get help, Punch. You need help, Punch. It's only few people. The least people there, the least people will help you when you down. The least people come in your life, bruh. I got on my knees and prayed to God before, bro. I ain't nothing, bro. I ain't nothing. I rose back, baby. I rose back. Shout out to people. Gasso in the building, bro. Shout out to Gasso, bro. Shout out to everybody, bro. You crazy, man. You think greatness just go back and lay down and just don't rise again? You think he became a 2-time lineal champion because he ain't that good and he ain't that great, he ain't that nice? You must be out your motherfucking mind. You must be out your mother effing mind. Praise, hey, yo, praise Shakur Stevenson. Shout out to Shakur Stevenson, bro. Shout out to the Shakur Stevenson. Shout out to Shakur Stevenson. Takes a great one to beat a great one. At the best, at their best. And there's some hiccups on the way. What you think? Why you like back in the days? Roberto Duran lost to De Jesus. Roberto Duran lost to De Jesus in Madison Square Garden. Oh, man, maybe Roberto Duran is not that good. Oh, after all, he lost to De Jesus. At the time, De Jesus was a stay busy fight, non-title fight. He lost, but guess what Roberto Duran did? Got the opportunity, moved up, couple fights for Sugar Ray Leonard the best, and beat Sugar Ray Leonard. Ain't no greatness without a comeback story. The world could write you off, bro. This is why I want to see Earl Spitz get back in the ring. That's why I want to see Keith Thurman get back in the ring where y'all motherfuckers just, oh yeah, they ain't shit, they done. They done. You know what I'm saying? They done. Man, fuck that, bro. They ain't never done. Greatness ain't never done. Shout out to Donito Donet. He's still fighting. Greatness never done. Greatness never done. And the guy that gave him the most combos was probably Donito Donet in that first fight. Huh? Fuck out of here, bro. Bet against him. Don't worry about it. Bet against him. Bet against him. Takeover's here, baby. The takeover's here, baby. The takeover's here. We don't abandon motherfuckers like y'all do. Huh? But now let's keep it with the facts. Let's keep it with the facts. All right. Shakur Stevenson stated that Teofimo Lopez was alone. Now let me say it like this. I said it publicly and people saw it. Shout out to Teo Sr. You my guy, but never leave your son ever again. Ever again. Ever again. I told Senior personally, yo, don't do that. Come on, man. The whole world is going to get. He don't need you to not be on this side. You know what I'm saying? He don't need that. You got to be there. You got to be there. I don't give a damn if you mad. I believe that the interview that he did after was wrong. Never throw your son under the bus. You win together, you lose together. You win together, you lose together. Period. 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 You win together, you lose together. The whole world is already going to point the finger. The whole world is going to say like he done. You know what I'm saying? Should have never, that part should have never did that. And I think that everybody, all of us, the world that saw it, in-house, people that saw it on the outside, agree. Never do that, bro. Never do that. Never do that. You can't do that. I know emotions get high. Emotions get high. Anger is there. But at a time like this, because if he would have won, you already know what it would have been. Everybody would have been parading, bro. Ain't nobody would have left his side. Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to the people that was there. Shout out to the people that was there that was supporting the champ after the fight. When he was in medicals, of course, he's in medicals. Not everybody could just go back out there in medicals. Shout out to his manager, Keith. He was there. Shout out to Mike. He was there. Shout out to Andrew. Andrew, my brother. Hey, yo, Tio, you stick to Andrew. You never let Andrew out your hip. You know what I'm saying? Salute to my guy, Andrew, bruh. Never leave that guy. Never leave that guy. We know who the real ones, and we know who the real ones. We know who's gonna rock with you on your rise, on your falls, and on your comeback and everything. Shout out to Andrew, my guy. One of the realest ones on Teofimo Lopez side. Salute to Andrew, bruh. Never leave that guy, bruh. He stays there for the rest of your life. Shout out to Andrew. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the sisters. Shout out to Mama Lopez. Shout out to Teo Senior. Shout out to the family. Shout out to a couple friends here and there. What I'm going to say is this. What I'm going to say is this. These are the facts. When Teofimo Lopez beat Josh Taylor, the same motherfucker. Matter of fact, let me put the video right quick. Hold on. I got, I break it down on bossy, logically, and objectively. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say that Shakur Stevenson was wrong. He was not 100% wrong, but he wasn't 100% right. You understand? But I understood what Shakur Stevenson was talking about. He's not 100% wrong. He's not 100% wrong. Hold on. Give me a second.
Fighters that we've ever seen in and out the ring, inspiration. And I actually told myself doing this career, I told myself that I wanted to do the same thing. I wanted that. I want to be the double greatest. And I think it's moments like this. You got to take some on the chin so that it doesn't define that you're a quitter. It just shows that what more can you do? Inspires everybody in the world. And I'm only 28, so I still got a lot more in the tank, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Punch drunk, always talks the realest, no matter what. I don't ever take it personal, ever. So you say what you gotta say, your hard facts on tonight, what you saw, because that's one thing that I like is that it's authentic and he keeps it thorough, but then most importantly, he's not biased. Yeah, he picks his sides for sure, as we all.
My fault. I don't know what's going on. It doesn't want to play. Give me a second. Give me a second, folks. Give me a second. Coño, doesn't want to play. Give me a second. ¿Dónde está el video? Give me a second. Smash that like. Let me upload the video. Let me get this thing out of here. I don't know why I ain't want to play. Hold on. Let me upload a video here. Who y'all want Shakur to play to fight next? I had to change the sweater because fuck. Yo. Oh shit, I didn't even see it, queso. Queso Colojandre! Dolo! Yo, I earned something about myself, bro. I love an underdog. I got Barrios beating Garcia too. Not too high on Ryan Garcia. Oh, queso, I got Ryan on this one. Yo, I think I want to go to that fight. It's just what, 3 weeks ago? Is it 3? Yeah. 3 weeks ago.
Fighters that we've ever seen in and out the ring, inspiration. And I actually told myself doing this career, I told myself that I wanted to do the same thing. I wanted that. I want to be the double greatest. And I think it's moments like this. You got to take some on the chin so that it doesn't define that you're a quitter. It just shows that what more can you do? Inspires everybody in the world. And I'm only 28, so I still got a lot more in the tank, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Punch drunk, always talks the realest, no matter what. I don't ever take it personal, ever. So you say what you gotta say, your hard facts on tonight, what you saw, because that's one thing that I like is that it's authentic and he keeps it thorough, but then most importantly, he's not biased. Yeah, he picks his sides for sure, as we all. But he's not biased when it comes to it. All right, who was the winner and who wasn't? Yeah. That I like a lot.
Appreciate it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Teofimo Lopez was not left alone like that. No. Hold on, give me a second. That was us. That was us. That was us at the rooftop of the hotel after the fight. After the fight, right? He was not left alone like that. But let me tell you like this, folks. Yo, que Dios te bendiga. Queso, queso. I got Ryan on that one. I got Ryan. God bless you con los $100. Queso, la música de queso otra vez. La música de queso, ladies and gentlemen. La música de queso. La música de queso. La música de queso. La música de queso.
He is rich. He's got his own money. I mean, the boy has got his own money.
Ryan Barrio, Ryan. Ryan Barrio, Ryan. Ryan Barrio, Ryan. Cállate la boca. Good looking now, queso. Que Dios te bendiga. I hope your niece is getting stronger and healthier, my brother. And you too, man. Hope the niece is doing good. Tell her Uncle Punch said, I'm praying for you. Hope you're getting stronger. The abdominals, you getting stronger. Shout out to Queso. I hope your health is getting stronger as well. Always pray for my brother Queso, his family, and everybody, bro. Constant supporter, my brother. Remember, hey, yo, Queso, you remember when this shit was not even 50K yet? Queso sparked the channel up, bro. Shout out to Queso. Appreciate you, man. We in 110. We just got 110 subscribers right now, ladies and gentlemen. We just made it. That was my New Year's resolution. And we got it all in January. Shout out to all the constant supporters, man, that show love. You know, share the live, share the videos. All right. So y'all seen the video. So Teofimo Lopez, after he beat Josh Taylor, you see that room right there? That rooftop? That shit was filled with everybody. I don't want nobody's feelings hurt. Y'all know Punch Run Boxing, I don't got no hair in my tongue. I keep it real, I keep it honest. And sometimes my honesty, sometimes people get mad at me because it's not that. Sometimes the truth, sometimes you got to tell the truth in a timely fashion. Sometimes the truth hurts. Sometimes keeping it real. Remember the Dave Chappelle skit? When keeping it real goes wrong in my life, me keeping it real has gone wrong. Me keeping it real has lost relations. Me keeping it real has lost friendship. Me keeping it real has that has been a gift and a curse in my life. You know what I'm saying? I just can't hold back the truth. I just can't hold back the truth. So, after the Josh Taylor fight, that same rooftop that we was in after the Shakur Stevenson fight, it was packed, bro. Inside, outside, everybody drinking, everybody eating and stuff like that. Everybody conversating. We having a good time, singing karaoke, dancing and everything. Everybody's having a good time. Champ won. Everybody there. This time around, that shit was nearly empty. He was not alone, but let me tell you like this. That 80%, cut that shit. 80% of the people wasn't there. Ladies and gentlemen, when he walked in, it was me, this other gentleman with his two little girls, two box of pizzas. Tio, Andrew, and Sis came walking. It's only two people. Put it this way. It was only two of us when he walked in. And when he walked in, I'm not going to say that this is how he felt. I'm not going to say that. This is how I felt for the champ. I was sad, bro. I was saying in my mind, before he was coming to upstairs to the roof, I'm like, damn, man, he's going to walk into this. I ain't going to like this shit, bro. It's going to feel bad. Yo, I felt I felt sad, like, oh, man, I don't want the champ to experience this shit. I don't know, because first, I don't know if he thinks that there's gonna be a lot of people there like it was before. You know what I'm saying? And when he walked in, and this is just me, I'm not putting this, I'm not saying this is how Teo felt. I'm not saying this is how Teo felt. This is how I felt for Teo. When he came upstairs to the rooftop, let's get this guy out of here, bro. I'm tired of this guy already. When he came upstairs to the rooftop, I'm like, damn, bro, that he don't deserve this. Not like this. He don't deserve for just two people really to be there, bro. I'm not gonna say that more people didn't come. Yes, more people came later on, but I'm just saying that's the introduction. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's like going to have a surprise party and there's only two people there and they say surprise, but then everybody else came after. Like, it's not the same feeling, right? Yeah, you're grateful that people already they showing coming little by little, but you know what I'm saying? I think that it was just different. It was sad to see, because I know what it looked like when he won. I know what it looked like when he won. I know what it looked like when he won. And I know what it looked like when he lost. You know what I'm saying? It was almost, I'm gonna say it like this. It wasn't even worse, because I remember when he lost to George Camboso, he didn't come back to the hotel. He went straight to the hospital, right? But if you was there the Friday night before the fight, that lobby was packed. That lobby was packed with Teo love and support, bruh. When he lost to George Camboso, that lobby cut that by like cut 70%. When he lost to Shakur, cut that by 80 to 90%, bro. So I'm not gonna say that there was nobody there. There was people there, but nothing like when he won. Nothing. It was like the total opposite. The total opposite. You know what I'm saying? Teo talked too much trash, then he want to feel sorry for himself. I don't think Teo felt sorry for himself though, Joey. Why y'all saying that? Yo, either I don't understand, y'all. I don't understand people that saying things like this, like Teo talked too much. So when Teo lost to George Camboso, everybody crucified him because y'all felt that he was saying a bunch of excuses. This loss, he took it straight like a G. And y'all still mad? That's what I'm saying. You can't even. How much? If Teo would have gone in that post-fight interview and would have said what Adrian Broner said after the Manny Pacquiao fight, man, I want that. I want that. How would you have said about Teofimo Lopez? Teofimo Lopez lost like a real G, bro. He took that. He took that L. He gave a handshake to Shakur, his grandfather, everybody, his daughter, his mom, everything, bro. He went to the locker room, got stitched up, did an interview. You know what I'm saying? Said what he said. In the rooftop. He said, yo, he lost to the better man. Why y'all getting mad now? Yo, every fucking fighter, there's a lot of fighters that talk shit, bro. Some of them, a lot of these fighters talk shit so they could get the fight that they want, or they could get the attention so they could sell. You know what I'm saying? But you guys that's been in boxing for such a long time, you already know what it is. There's no explanation. Why you think that these fighters don't get in trouble? Their sponsorship don't go away because they talk shit in boxing. There's a whole different type of culture, bro. A whole different type of culture. Teo's still my top guy. So Shakur saying, let me put what he said for those that's gonna catch on. Hold on, give me a sec. Hold on, give me a sec. Give me a sec. I heard Floyd Mayweather is suing Showtime as well Talk about that. A lot of people gonna say that he's suing Al Heyman, or he got he's not cool with Al Heyman and stuff like that. Seems like. Let me put what was reported, what Keyshawn, what Shakur Stevenson said, and what Keith Connolly said. Shout out to Keith Connolly. Give me a second. Let me upload it. So Keyshawn Davis said, I felt bad after the fight. I went into the doctor's room. I seen Tio in there. Nobody else was in there with him. I didn't like that. I could understand that Tio was alone in the medicals. He was alone in that room. Yes, he was. He wasn't alone, but there was people outside. Andrew was outside. Keith Connolly was outside and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I could understand how Shakur Stevenson may see it, because I heard that Terrence Bud Crawford was with him in the room as well. So, you know, and I think it would have been right if Senior would have been next to his son, or at least a coach. You know, when he getting stitched up and things of that nature, especially after this loss, you gotta stay by his side like that, right? You know, and I can understand that criticism. You know what I'm saying? I can understand the criticism of people and stuff like that. And I hope they learn from that. I think I wish they could heal from that. I think that Tio, you know, at the end of the day, regardless if Tio is going to be active or not active, retired, he's still going to have that relationship with his dad. And I hope that his dad heals up, and I hope that Tio heals up with his dad. You know what I'm saying? Because regardless of father and trainer, they're always going to be father and son. You know, trainer, father, trainer, all of that. Keith Connolly then stated, because of this report, Keith Connolly, reported by Mike Coppinger, said that the rumors that nobody was with Tio after the fight is nonsense. I was in the medical tent with him for most of the time he was there. I was gone for 5 to 10 minutes, period, where I walked back to the locker room to make sure his family was okay. After he got cleared by doctors, we left the garden and we hung out back at the hotel to 6 a.m. with Tio. That is absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct. We was with Tio, and Keith Connolly was one of the last ones to leave as well. I was the last one to leave. I think I stood in the hotel, maybe 7, almost 8 a.m. Yeah, I think it was like 7 something, 8 a.m. You know what I'm saying? I stood out there. I was the first one in the hotel, and I was the last one out. You know what I'm saying? So Keith Connolly was there, you know what I'm saying? And he was there, you know. And a few people was there. It was not, and I'm happy that Keith Connolly, his manager, was there. I'm happy that, you know, his father came. I hope that his mother and his sisters came with him. One of his sisters did come with him. And a couple of people was there, but it was nothing like when he lost, bro. I mean, it was nothing like when he won, bro. Nothing. And you know, there's going to be some adjustments to be made. There's going to be some healing to be made. Tio's already in the gym. Tio been in the gym. I think the day after, and today he's in the gym. So Tio is that type of guy that he's a gym rat in the end of the day. And I remember, put it this way, folks, that look and that energy that Tio got right now, Tio was right back in the gym. I remember this, bro, like it was yesterday. When Teo, when he questioned himself after the Sando Martin fight, and he said, "Do I still got it?" You know, he was bummed out with the performance because he felt like he wanted to entertain, right? He wanted to entertain. It wasn't even about the win. It was about entertaining, you know. And he was right back in the gym, 6 o'clock in the morning. Right back in the gym. I remember after he did after the fight with Sando Martin, he did his I think he had a host somewhere, and then he came right back. The people stood in the hotel, you know what I'm saying? A couple of the friends and family and shit like that was having a good time, got his spirits up and shit like that. And after that, he went to the gym. He went to the gym, working out. And that energy reminds me what he's going through right now, because that was when the next fight he had was with Josh Taylor. Look what he did with Josh Taylor. So Teo is already motivated, bro. Teo is already motivated. You know what I'm saying? Coach Anthony in the building. Coach Anthony, I gotta eat crow. I got crow, bro. I got crow, man. Man, I was eating crow, man. I'm already full with crow, so I gotta eat a little later for my midnight snack. All right, Coach? All right, Coach? Coach has Shakur all the way. Yo, Coach, man, you be making me look bad out here, bro. You had Bud Crawford. I still owe Shakur Stevenson 1,000 push-ups for that Bud Crawford pick. So shout out to Coach Anthony. Peter, Colo 25 said Teo needs true love in his life. It's the foundation of everything. Facts, Peter. God first, everything second. And with God, you got everything. With God, you got everything. You know what I'm saying? Because God is love. God is purpose. God is savior. God is everything. God is strength. God is cure. But yeah, man, shout out to my guy. Everybody subscribe to Coach Anthony. Coach Anthony. We need Coach Anthony also by the champ side, bruh. I say this: if Teo ever opens it and he need like an assistant or even a coach, a trainer, Coach Anthony, Coach Anthony. I think a Coach Anthony and a Teo collaboration, it'll be epic. It'll be epic, yo. It'll be epic. He said he's still. I got you. Give me a sec. You gotta eat I gotta eat my crow. Gotta eat the crow. Gotta eat the crow. You better look into that, Coach. But yeah, man. Look, again, this was if I show y'all a picture of how it was with the Josh Taylor victory, shit. This was empty right here, folks, bro. It was like this, man. It was like this. I felt for the champ, bro. I truly felt for the champ, man. Boom. That's how empty it was, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't like to see that for the champ. I'll be honest, folks. I didn't like to see that from the champ. I wanted this room filled, bro. There may be people and be like, well, I didn't know. Nah, man. When the champ wins, everybody know. All the reporters will sneak. All the reporters will follow him. The people will follow him. Everybody will be asking, where champ? Everybody be calling each other. Everybody will show up, bro. So I felt for champ, man. I felt for champ. Does Teo needs a new trainer? Look, Teo's gonna stay with his dad, bro. But does he need? I don't think that's the question. The question is not that if Teo needs a new trainer. You know what I'm saying? That's not what y'all want to debate. In all reality, does it need a new trainer, or does he need what I really want to say is, does he need a new voice in the corner while he's fighting? Because Teo always gets trainers. Teo always gets trainers to assist him and help him out. You know what I'm saying? That's why y'all hear Joey Gamashi. So Senior always hires trainers. You know what I'm saying? He has his McCroy. He has Stacy in this fight. You know, he had the Jorge Rubio of the of work preparing him for a fight, like said Pedro Compa and shit like that. He always had trainer. It's not that's not what I really want to emphasize. It's not that. Tio Dad is a real scumbag, says Enrique. With a $2 super chat. Yo, TLCO Senior is my guy, man. He just got healing to do. You know what I'm saying? He got healing to do. I ain't gonna give up on him, and I know that his son is not gonna give up on him. You know what I'm saying? I understand it from the boxing world. You know, I think it's justified what I say. So I'm not gonna debate that. But what I'm gonna debate that is that, you know what I'm saying, I'm not gonna abandon my peoples and stuff like that, even when they need help or they need healing. And I know that his son doesn't want to go through his journey without his father. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that a lot of people gonna have to live with, man. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna go through this journey without his father. He won with his father. He lost with his father. And I understand that the situation, how everybody saw it played out, it wasn't fair for Tio. And I think that over time, you know, that healing process between him and his dad is you know, and him, if you want to continue to coach his son, he's gonna have to be prepared to rock with him, be right, heal up, be at 100%, just like his son is working out to be 100% to step inside that ring. You know? Oh, Tio with a dangerous corner brings pound for pound problems. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. If you talk to any trainer, any coach, anybody knows what they watch. They know what they see in Tio. They know how special he could be. You know that they know how special he is. You know, he lost to a special fighter, man. He lost to a generational talent, too. You know what I'm saying? Teofimo Lopez lost to a generation. Teofimo Lopez arguably may lose to the best fighter of this generation. You know, Shakur is a generational talent. You know what I'm saying? He just ain't lose to anybody. And I think that's why Tio he could be content with, or he could accept the loss, because he lost to Shakur at what he may feel as his physically best. He had a good training camp. They did draw up a good game plan. He didn't execute the game plan. You can't put that too much on Stacy. You can't put that much. Now people gonna hear the snippets of the corner of what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a right for their opinion. It ain't sound right. It ain't look right. But, you know, that's going to have to be for Tio to make those type of decisions. You know, he's a man. He's an elite fighter. He's a high level accomplished fighter. And at this point, he's going to make the decisions going to best fit him. He ain't going to make the decisions that are going to benefit everybody else and their opinions. You know what I'm saying? I always hear when a fighter loses, they got to change trainers. I think in the sport of boxing, you want people to abandon the people that got you there. You know what I'm saying? Like, put it this way. I didn't like that Andy Ruiz abandoned his trainer where he got in precision. There's a lot of fighters like that too, bro. You know what I'm saying? When you win and you keep them, but then when you lose, you fire them. Like if it's them. You know what I'm saying? I heard a lot of people say that Teofimo Lopez should have fired his father before after the Nakatani fight. And then he went out there and knocked out Richard Comey and then beat Vasily Lomachenko. I ain't hear that when he became trainer of the year, I ain't hear nobody say that he should fire his father. Then what happened with George Camboso, then people saying he should fire his father. Then the Pedro Compa, then the Sando Martin, fire your father. Then leading up to the Josh Taylor fight, it was just him and his dad. It was no really a real assistant like that. And guess what? Y'all wasn't saying he should fire his father. And then the Jermaine Ortiz, okay, he should fire his father. Then the Steve Claggett, oh, he should let go of his father. But then the way that he beat Arnold Barbosa, y'all wasn't saying that as well. So, yo, not everybody gonna be undefeated, man. And not everybody gonna be Flo Mayweather, Joe Kawasaki, and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Flo Mayweather felt like he needed Roger at a time. And then he needed his father right back. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a very touchy dynamic between father and son collaboration. Because I remember even Danny Garcia said that he never won a fight without his dad in the corner. I was with Demetrius. I remember with Demetrius Andre leading up to the David Benavidez fight. Shout out to Demetrius Andre. Shout out to Boo Boo. Let me tell you like this: a lot of these fighters, believe it or not, they're well-oiled machine. You see a trainer there, but at a certain point, they're well-oiled machine, bro. Doesn't matter what trainer they get. Look at Ryan Garcia. It doesn't matter. He had Eddie Reynoso, he had Derek James, and he had Goosen. 3 respectable trainer that did not. He didn't change nothing. It didn't help. It ain't doing nothing significant. There's some good trainers out there that's going to give you some good instructions. You're going to have a good game plan, but it's up to the fighter to execute the game plan. That's it. The trainers can't do nothing. They could tell you everything. You could have Customado. You could have Customado, Emmanuel Stewart, and Angelo Dundee in your corner. They could come with a game plan. If you don't execute it, Socolo, Andre, Dolo, Super Chari Chari Parike. Me dice, I think shit like that be in language. Shouldn't think about it, subtraction or firing. It's about adding, learning, and fathers should be humble enough to accept that. Facts. View it as help, you know? Yeah. Yo, the link giving me issues. Do I still got time? Yeah, you still got time. Where should I think the link is giving you issues? Hold on. Shout out to Coach Anthony, my brother. Hold on, give me a sec. Queso, God bless you, Queso. And I always say that it's about adding. I don't think it's about subtracting. You know what I'm saying? Tio want to go through his journey with his dad. And it is what it is. They came together. That's the only person that truly believed in him for the most part. I think, you know, after the fight, I think it's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying, that everybody saw what they saw and what Tio had to experience, you know, his father walking out, you know what I'm saying, out the ring. I think that wasn't fair for Tio. We all agree on that. I've spoken to Tio Sr. about that as well. You know, so I say it public. I said it privately and publicly because everybody saw what everybody saw it in the arena and shit like that. I think it wasn't fair. I don't think you should make it about you, about he ain't listening to you. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, he's the one that's risking his life. You know what I'm saying? You could be frustrated that, you know, he didn't execute the game plan, but at time it is everything. You know what I'm saying? You got to be there for Tio and that shit. You got to be there for him at all times. At all times. Win, lose, or draw. You know? There was a lot of frustrations there. We've seen a lot of fathers in the past, trainers being frustrated with their sons. You know, we've seen it with Tito Trinidad. Like I said, we've seen it with Tito Trinidad when his father used to smack him up in the corner. We've seen it with Floyd Mayweather Sr. during the Manny Pacquiao fight when he's telling Floyd, "Are you fighting scared? Stop fighting scared. Go out there and fight him. Stop fighting scared." There was no instructions there. But they get into that. You've seen Kenny Porter frustrated with Sean. We've seen Angel Garcia getting frustrated with Danny during the Keith Thurman fight. You know what I'm saying? We seen a lot of frustrations, but we seen it before. You know, this ain't new. This ain't new. I think that guys like Senior and Brian Norman Jr., these guys are very vocal on social media. They have this persona, and a lot of fans hate them for it, for promoting and supporting their sons the way that they did, right? So I think that has to do with a mixture of the frustration with Teofimo Lopez Sr. But there's some healing that Teo Sr. needs to do. They can move forward. Put it that way. Hey, yo, Carlos punch. I saw Tio hurt Shakur in the 8th round. What do you think about that round? How could Tio have kept that body work? I think it was more effort, in my opinion. I think that I think that they would. I think when it comes to that the fight, you got to credit Shakur Stevenson for doing what he did. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I feel like that I feel like Teo didn't go all out. I think that Teo held back. That's the way. If I could define a phrase of what of the constructive criticism I may have how Teofimo Lopez performed, I feel like he held back. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking anything away from Shakur. I think Shakur did a masterful job. I think his footwork was beautiful. I think the way he was dictating, he was just a step ahead of Teofimo Lopez. You know what I'm saying? And positioning and balance and keep him off balance. Took power off his shots, or counter the jab, counter the right hand. You know what I'm saying? He looked like the stronger fighter in there. Teofimo Lopez didn't look like he had power. Teofimo Lopez didn't want to throw combination. I think that Teofimo Lopez didn't want to risk it that much. In the 8th round, I could see that when Teofimo Lopez wanted to throw combinations to the body and stuff like that, he was successful. And then he had to back up. Every time he did back up, and the little times that he backed up Shakur Stevenson had nothing to do but to like guard up. He couldn't throw no shots there. And I think that should have been the game plan. And then I seen Teofimo Lopez, after throwing them shots, after having Shakur Stevenson in the ropes, he will back up in the middle of the ring, like almost like letting him reset. And that's why I mean, like, I didn't feel like Teofimo Lopez went all out. I didn't think that Teofimo Lopez executed the game plan. I think that Teofimo Lopez worked that jab, double the jab, triple the jab. I think that Teofimo Lopez shift. I think that Teofimo Lopez fought a stationary fight, predictable fight, and you can't be predictable when it comes to Shakur Stevenson. I think that I'm not gonna say you can never know when it comes to the mental part of it. I know he was confident going into the fight. I don't know. I think Teofimo Lopez was highly confident going into the fight, but did it motivate him? I'm not sure. That's something that, you know, I'm not sure about that. I don't know how motivated he was. You know what I'm saying? There's one thing that if we know about Teo, when Teo wants a fighter, when he wanna fight somebody, he'll call them out. You know, when Teo wanted. All right, coach. Teo wanted Lomachenko. Teo wanted Josh Taylor. But if you go look at throughout the years and the interviews, Teo never really called out Shakur. He never really wanted to fight Shakur throughout the years, like he wanted to fight Loma, like he talked about back and forth with the likes of Devin Haney and Gervonta Tank Davis. And, you know, he never truly, and Shakur just got into the mix of the 4 kings because Shakur was in 126 pounds, right? So we was really talking about Teo versus Haney, Teo versus Ryan, Teo versus Tank, you know, and Shakur was the last one to come up to that division so we could add him into that 4 king discussion. You know, because Shakur was about the Tank fight. You know what I'm saying? Then I remember Shakur and Devin Haney was going at it. But it was really a buildup was the Teo Tank and Teo Haney. That was really the buildup for him. It wasn't really we wasn't marinating a fight with Teo and Shakur that much. So, but in interviews, like when he was talking to Cameron, right? When he was talking to Cameron and Mace, he said, I don't want to fight, I never want to fight Shakur. He said that multiple times. So I know he was confident. He was confident in training camp and leading up to the fight. I heard he had one of the best training camps. Stacy said he had Stacy McKenzie said he had a great training camp. His father said he had one of the best training camps that he ever seen his son in. He was in incredible shape. He stayed within weight going into the camp. You know what I'm saying? So he already had a mini camp. You know what I'm saying? So he was confident, but I don't know how motivated he was in the last maybe week or maybe the fight week. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because it just didn't seem like he went all out. You know, I don't know if he left it in the gym. I don't know if he, you know, it just didn't feel like it's easy if you attempted to do exactly what was the game plan, attempted the double and triple the jab, combination punches, 3s and 4s. If he would have attempted that and Shakur Stevenson still would have capitalized off that, counter that, stop him from that, then it would have been like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? He stopped him in everything. I just feel like he held back. I think he held back a little bit, in my opinion. I think he held back. I think he held back in throwing and doubling the jab and throwing 3s and 4 combination punches. He didn't do that. I think that when he did capitalized a little bit on going to the body, and he did very well in those spots. He just didn't sustain that, and that was kind of frustrating to see. Like, yo, you keep on doing what you just did, and take that 8th round and go into the 9th round and do the same thing. He said that Teo attacked Shakur backstage. Nah, man. Teo and Shakur is highly cordial, highly cool. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm gonna say it like this. Shakur, leading up to the fight, could have said way more things if he wanted to. Shakur could have been talking about Teo's dad all throughout leading up to the fight. Shakur Stevenson, let me tell you like this. Both of these guys know each other very well. Even Teofimo Lopez could have said things personally about Shakur, and Shakur could have said personally things about Teofimo Lopez that they may know about each other, because, again, these fighters don't hate each other, man. They known each other for a very, very long time. Like even Wally said, Wally been in Teofimo Lopez Sr.'s house. They had barbecue with the family. Teo's grandfather is very cool with Teo's father and Teo's mom. You understand? Like, don't think that these guys really hate each other. They don't. The fans divide them further. They're competitive, but the fans divide them. Bill Haney is cool with Teofimo Lopez Sr. There's no real animosity there. You know, Senior and Bill are very cordial. They're very civil towards each other. You know what I'm saying? They've been around since they was in the amateurs. You know, you feel me? Is the fans divide the fighters. The fans will talk shit about this fighter. The fighter listens to these fans, so then they get, you know. But I think I think that the Shakur camp could have said a lot of things about Teo to get him more irked, could have more violated and talking about his dad, and I think and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Don't you think that motherfuckers got amateur stories? Teofimo Lopez and Shakur have traveled together, have gone to tournaments together. You know what I'm saying? That's like Teo and Gary Antoine Russell. You know what I'm saying? Tweezy, they know each other, bro. It's never gonna be like that, like what people think it is. You know, Shakur just another level. Teo still great. I think Shakur showed another level. I think that Teo is in that. Look. Just because you get beaten, that doesn't mean that you're not on the same level. You know what I'm saying? For example, that's why we talk about the 4 Kings so much. We talk about Sugar Ray Leonard and Hagler and Hearns, right? By the time their career ends, we talk about the 4 Kings, right? 4 Kings. We don't say that one king is bigger than the other, right? We talk about 4 Kings. But Durant couldn't beat Hagler, and Durant couldn't beat Hearns, right? Hearn knocked out Hagler in the 2nd round. Hagler knocked out Hearns in the 3rd round. There was whitewashes back then, and we look at them as kings. So we seen Teofimo Lopez, you know, lost a lot of the rounds in the scorecards, almost every round. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that what Shakur did, Ryan Garcia could do to Teo. That doesn't mean what Shakur did to Teo that Devin Haney could do to Teo, right? That doesn't mean what Shakur did to Teo that Tank could do. But how about this? How about if Tank fights Shakur and then Tank lands a shot and beats Shakur, but then we see that Tank had a tough fight with Roach. How about Ryan Garcia? Look what Ryan Garcia did to Devin Haney, but then look what Rolly did to Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? So right now we're looking at something. Right now, I believe that they're all special. I think that Teo, Shakur, Haney, and Tank, I truly think that they're really, really great fighters of this generation. If Ryan Garcia wins a title, I think that Ryan got the potential to be just that. I think there's been some distractions, in my opinion, and there's other great fighters that may have distractions outside of the ring, but know how to deal with it more. They got a better supporting cast, a better PR. Johnny with a $5 super chat says, yo, it wouldn't hurt to have a fight. Good looking out. God bless you. With the $5 says, or 2 without his dad just to test it out. Maybe it's beneficial. You complain that Danny and Porter, well, them guys always fell short. I mean, when somebody always going to fall short. I don't know what we're looking at. And we can't expect. This is what I'm saying. This is also what I'm saying, Johnny. we can't expect every fighter to be undefeated. Just because you lose to somebody, maybe it's not nothing wrong. Maybe that guy just got your number. You know what I'm saying? We cannot expect all these guys to fight each other and it ends in a draw. Is that what we're trying to, is that what we think? We think, all right, Shakur versus Teo, draw. Devin Haney versus Teo, draw. Ryan versus Devin, draw. Tank versus Shakur, draw. Tank versus Teo, draw. And then we all good with that? Nah, man, somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. You know? Somebody got to win.
There you go.
Dímelo, Coach Anthony. Hey, yo, take it easy, all right?
Bro?
Take it easy, very light on me, all right? Take it easy. Take it easy.
What's up, bro? What's going
Shout
on,
out to
dude?
Coach. Shout out to Coach. Shout out to Coach Anthony. Everybody subscribe to Coach Anthony. You already know, man. The most prestige trainer of the world.
Yeah.
Talk to me, man. What you feel about the fight, man?
Man, I thought it went as planned. I think, the last time I was on here, I told you that it was going to be a lot easier than everybody expected. I think that I got a lot of backlash from the punch drunk community. I had to go into the chat and send the eyeballs to everybody who was talking crazy about me real quick. But I seen it coming. Pause. And the reason why I seen that is because stylistically, it was to me pretty clear that Teo was going to have a problem with somebody who's a southpaw, who got a long jab, who's as experienced as he is. I don't know. It just didn't surprise me at all.
Okay, you knew that was your prediction. Styles make fights. You feel you was 10 toes down on your prediction in that. But is anything surprised you of Teofimo Lopez's approach or him not making adjustments?
I was surprised that he looked a little flat. He looked like he spent too much time marketing the fight, trying to do all the antics to sell the fight. And it seems like that's where he left his energy, because as soon as that first round bell rang, I didn't see none of that energy that he was portraying leading up to the fight. So I don't know if maybe him doing all of that to psych himself up, and then when reality hit, he was like, oh shit, I actually got to do this shit that I've been acting about all this time. All right, bro. And the thing is, when you got guys like a Shakur Stevenson, like there's certain guys, I told you this the last time I was on here, there's certain fighters that you only get once in a lifetime. We got Floyd Mayweather, we got Andre Ward, we got Terrence Crawford, and now we got Shakur Stevenson. He's cut from that cloth of just special fighters. And to make it to the Olympic silver medal that he won, and not only did he win, I mean, he could have arguably won the gold. I thought he lost it by a smidget. But when you make it to that level of the amateurs, there's a separation between you and everybody else. And don't get me wrong, I know Teo was an Olympian. However, he didn't do what Shakur did in the amateurs. And that's like Harvard level boxing that prepares you for these kind of matches. And when you get a guy like that who's went so far in the amateurs, who's so disciplined, those guys are extremely difficult to beat. And if you look at all the best fighters of our generation, they all were those kind of guys. Roy Jones was that kind of fighter. You had Andre Ward, Olympic gold medalist. Floyd Mayweather, he got robbed. We know the Floyd could have been to that.
The 1984 team.
Yeah, these are certain fighters that they did too much to get to this level. And guys like Teo, as good as he is, he just isn't quite at the level of a Shakur Stevenson.
Hey man, good analogy on that. I always talk about the amateurs, and people out here will be like, the amateurs doesn't say shit about nothing, ain't worth nothing. Let me get this super chat. Yo, Caesar's at Please Punch asks Coach Ant, if Teofimo Lopez trains with you for the Shakur fight, is the results the same? Noah, be honest, please. I am a sub to your channel as also.
Well, you know what? This is the issue. When you get a guy like Teofimo fighting a guy like Shakur, this has to start way prior to the fight getting announced. So let's just say Teofimo Lopez left his dad as soon as he found out he was fighting Shakur. I still got a big uphill battle because we're talking about 20 years in the making to get to this particular level. And whatever Teo's natural inclinations are, whatever he naturally does when fights get difficult, when he runs into styles that he's not accustomed to beating, he's going to revert back to his bad habits when the going gets tough. That's why it's very difficult to get a guy and turn him around in one camp. Sometimes you need 3, 4, 5 camps with a guy to get a guy to really understand your system. And you guys have to go through a certain amount of things together to really get to that particular level. Because again, this has started way before the fight got announced. These guys have been boxing since they was 8 years old. You feel me? So I always have confidence in myself, but you have to be realistic when you're dealing with a guy at the magnitude of a Shakur.
Yeah, I asked a couple trainers before in the past on my channel. I said, what does it? Well, how many camps it takes for them to buy into the system, right? Coach Kevin Cunningham would be like 3 when he got with Luben, right? The third fight, he felt like he finally got it. Also, Triple G's training, not Abel Sanchez, the other one, the black dude, the big dude, forgot his name. He said, I asked him too, prior to the Triple G versus Sergey Deverchenko fight, he said he's not going to buy in. You're not going to see him buying into the program right now. It will have to take 3 full camps for him to buy into what I want him to do exactly, and him to trust the adjustments that needed to be made. During those type of fights, they're going to revert back to who they are. So it does need a lot of time. So I understand. So and now you another trainer saying the same thing. It's going to take 3 to 4 training.
It's going to take time. Now, what I will say is this, and this is no knock on Teo's dad, because like I was listening to what you guys were saying about him having to leave his dad and whatever and all that stuff. And though that seems like the right thing in certain situations, the problem is, again, this has been going on for 20 years. So we're talking about something that Teo has been raised in, and now you try to take him away from it. It may help, but it more of a chance that it may fuck with his brain a little bit, unless he been wanted to leave his dad and he doesn't have the courage to say it himself. Sometimes those things unfold on their own. But what I will say is, what I didn't see from Teo's dad was specific instructions given in the corner. All I saw was motivational attempts, and I don't even know if it was really motivating Teo or discouraging him, but it was more so, you gotta throw harder, you gotta throw punches, what happened to your power? But I never heard him say, hey, pick your hand up a little higher. Shakur's throwing a jab over your lead hand over and over and over. You got to pick that hand up so you can stop the jab. I mean, that was a simple adjustment right there that Teo could have made to get hit with less jabs. He got his hand low against a Shakur who's a pinpoint accurate jabber. You don't keep your hands low like this. Put it this way. If I'm fighting a right-handed fighter and my hand is low like this, you're going to say, throw the right hand over my lead hand being low. Now, my shoulder roll got to be super on point like Floyd Mayweather to stop a right hand. But if I don't got a good shoulder roll, I better keep that motherfucker up, because the right hand will land right on the glove. Well, it's the same thing with a southpaw. The southpaw is reverted the other way. So the jab is basically like a straight right hand coming from an orthodox. The jab is coming from the same side, but it's even closer. So you got to bring that hand up if you're dealing with a guy who's got a pinpoint jab if you can't see it. The reason why we tell fighters to keep their hands up is not just because it's because it's the shots you don't see. And you'll be surprised how you can stand in front of a motherfucker and you don't see the shots. You'll be so surprised how, damn, he only got 2 hands and I didn't see that shit. Yeah, because motherfuckers are really good. So sometimes you gotta bring those hands up. He never did.
I think also it could be also the gift and the curse, right? Because his best wins are with southpaws. Is the Lomachenko, the Taylor, and stuff like that. So you could also get in the habit of being successful with a particular style, and you're gonna revert to probably he wanted to be comfortable offensively, that put him in an uncomfortable position defensively. Because really with, let's say, Floyd Mayweather never, he didn't try to use that shoulder roll a lot versus southpaws. He don't use the shoulder roll like that. He usually use the high guard more so, keep it to land that straight right hand. But it is what it is. Everybody got a different style. I do agree also with you that, you know, there's a lot of fans that once the things go wrong, they always want to jump with saying that they need a new trainer. And you a trainer yourself, right? Like me, like I seen you highly successful with Raymond Ford, right? I'm like, yeah, that's what they needed. And then the next fight, he could lose, but automatically people going to say, oh, maybe he need a new trainer. But I don't think he need a new trainer. You know what I'm saying? So how do you feel about being a trainer that when y'all winning, y'all don't even get the credit? When y'all lose, they be like, yo, they need a new trainer.
I think it's a double-edged sword. I think that trainers get too much credit when fighters win sometimes, and I think that trainers get too much criticism when fighters lose sometimes. I think there's somewhere of a balance in the middle, because at the end of the day, the fighter has to do their job. And if the
other way around, you think that the fighters get more praise when they win?
I think it's both. I think some trainers get praised too much when their fighters win. Also, I think that sometimes, like let's say Tio went to Freddie Roach, let's just say he came to me, and we put him in the ring with a guy, and Tio looks phenomenal. Now, Coach Anthony's the best trainer in the world, but maybe we had the right opponent and we just happened to be able to showcase our talent against that particular opponent. But now I'm getting more credit than the fighter. Sometimes that happens. Other times, the fighter will lose, like when Raymond Ford lost to Nick Ball. I told Raymond in the corner, you need to let your hands go and get off the ropes. And he didn't listen as soon as he should have. And we lost by 1 point. And he even said it at the end of the fight, I should have listened to my corner more. Some people might have thought, oh, he needs to leave that Coach Anthony YouTube motherfucker. He ain't no real coach. You know what I'm saying? So, again, I can get criticism or I can get too much praise. I think that the trainer and the fighter need to work together like a partnership. And again, the trainer's job is to give the right instructions in the big moments. You got to say more than punch more, punch harder. You got to give specific instructions that you work on in the gym. I can't tell you to do something that you haven't done in the gym. If you're not doing it in the gym, you're not going to do it in the fight. So this starts way before the fight, if that makes sense.
Shout out to The Zone in the building. What's good, The Zone? What's good? We are right here with Coach Anthony in the building. Prestige trainer. I mean, look, we seen it time and time again when the fighter loses. Look, when I remember when Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz, everybody was saying fire your trainer. I remember when people always want to butch the trainers and stuff like that. And I know that people seen the snippets of Teofimo Lopez Sr. giving the type of, hey, what he said about he said, you're gonna hate yourself in the morning, you know. But we seen in the past, we seen the father trainers of Tito Trinidad used to smack Tito Trinidad when he needs to amp it up. We seen Flo Mayweather Sr. tell Flo Mayweather, you fighting scared, stop fighting scared, go out there and fight him versus Manny Pacquiao. We seen certain times when these father trainers do get highly emotional, telling their sons things that is not really instructions, the X and O's instructions, but they also could bring out the best in them that no other trainer could do, you know?
I mean, listen, nobody knows Tio more than his father. That's
Exactly.
his father. He raised him. He knows that kid in and out. So I don't think that firing the father is the right decision unless Tio truly in his heart feels that he needs something different. But if Tio doesn't feel that, and it's just he's being peer pressured by the media and the fans, then I think it's a problem. You know, but sometimes a father does need to learn to just be a father. Sometimes that's all the son wants. I just want a dad. I don't need you to be my coach. I want you to be my dad. Sometimes you need that too, because I've worked with fighters whose father's been involved, and I couldn't make it work because the father wanted to be the coach, but he didn't have the knowledge that I had, but he still wanted me to coach, but he wanted to be in the front. And it's like, bro, we kind of got to like figure this out. So I don't know what Tio's father's real knowledge of the sport is. He's had great success with Teofimo Lopez, so we got to credit that. But again, Tio has to make that final decision, not us.
What do you feel about? Because I don't think that I think Tio wants to have this journey with his dad. This journey for him, I don't think is it is what a lot of people want his dad not to be there. We hear the criticism and stuff like that, but for Tio, he don't want to go through his journey without his dad. And we heard Danny Swift Garcia said throughout his post-fight interview several fights ago, when he was talking about, mental illness and things of that nature they had to go through, he said that if my father's not in my corner, I won't fight. I was with Demetrius Andre leading up to the David Benavidez fight, right? And his father was not in training camp. He was with Andre Rose. He trained with Andre Rose, but his father was not in training camp. But throughout the week, he's pressing his dad, you better show up. I need you to be there. And then I had a conversation with him like, is your father gonna come and stuff like that? He's like, at this point, I don't need my father to train me, but I need his voice. I need him there, or I don't feel good fighting. So I think that I don't think the people understand the dynamic of that father and son training.
Let's look at Bill Haney, for instance.
Yeah,
Bill Haney has done a fantastic job of placing Devin. Shout out to Tevin Farmer, by the way. But placing Devin in front of good trainers to help perfect his craft. Yeah. But on fight night, he plays the role of the voice, which it worked out for him. But he was smart enough to say, I don't know boxing enough. I know my son. I know what he needs. We're going to get the best to teach him, but I'm going to be there for my son in the corner. I have no problem with that. As long as you're doing it for the progression of getting better and not for egotistical reasons. Some fathers have egotistical. I'm not saying this is Tio's dad. I'm just saying in general, some fathers have egotistical reasons of why they're in the corner as opposed to the true progression of their son's career. They're the father. You're not going nowhere. You can bring somebody in to help you, bro. That's your son till the day y'all die. You're not going to lose your son if you brought in another trainer just to help him on fight night. If anything, you're going to protect your legacy as a father-son duo who was smart enough to bring in smart people. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's the misconception about Tio's situation with his dad. I think that's the misconception. I think because I always hear that he need a new trainer. Tio always gets a new trainer. Tio was in training camp with Stacy McKenzie, right? Before that, he was with Milton McCroy. Milton McCroy is the one that actually taught him how to box, right? So he was with Milton McCroy. Before that, he was with Jorge Rubio. Before that, when he beat Richard Comey, he beat Vasily Lomachenko. That's what a lot of people always say, why y'all don't bring Joey Gamache back? So the issue for the people out there that want to debate and have dialogues about it, I don't think that people are saying the right things. Not about that. Does he need a new trainer? Does he need a new voice during the fight? Should his father be there during the fight? I think that's what people.
I think he could. I think he could benefit from a good cornerman. That as long as his father can stand on the outside of the ropes, while the good cornerman comes in and gives specifics. Because again, Tio's dad is also going off of emotion when he's watching his son fight. He's emotional. That's his son. So he's emotional. He might not be as level-headed as a guy who's coming in as just an expert trainer to say, listen, let me give him the exact specifics. All I need you to do is talk in his ear and tell him, yo, you're here for him and you got him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that Tio can benefit from it. Now, should he? Again, it has to be cheap. Tio has to genuinely want that. Tio might hop on this podcast and say, fuck y'all, I want my dad to give you. Well, then okay, then bro, go ahead. By all means, brother, keep doing what you want to do. But Tio, in the back of his mind, if he feels like he needs that expert voice, he should take a hold of his career because, again, his dad, as far as he got him, there is levels to this.
And I think that, and I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is that people need to emphasize a little bit more. What do you feel about this? What Shakur Stevenson just stated about Teofimo Lopez? He feels bad. Well, let me put the exact quote that Shakur Stevenson said during the Cigar Talk interview. He said, I felt bad after the fight. I went into the doctor's room. I seen Tio in there. Nobody else was in there with him. I don't like that. Now, we seen this before. We heard it all. We heard it through the history of the sport of boxing. They say that boxing is a lonely sport. What do you feel about that statement he made? He was in the doctors. We all know that Teofimo Lopez Sr. walked out the ring and stuff like that. What do you feel about? Because I was there in the hotel. You know what I'm saying? I was there waiting and it was empty, coach. It was nothing like when he won. When he beat Josh Taylor, bro, that same place we was in, the rooftop in the hotel, it was packed. When he lost, when he walked inside that room, it was only me, some other dude, and pizzas, bro. And he came in with shout out to Andrew, shout out to his sister. I felt so sad for him, bro. I felt so sad for him, bro. Like damn, he don't deserve it like this, yo. He don't deserve this lack of support like this after a fight like that.
That's whack. You know what I mean? And I hate to see that for a guy like Teofimo, because Teofimo Lopez, at the end of the day, man, listen, we're talking about Shakur Stevenson here also. Let's take that to account. A lot of people who don't know who are the game don't realize how good Shakur Stevenson is. Soon enough, everybody's gonna find out, and everybody's gonna say, "Holy shit, this guy he's gonna get compared to all the greats when his career is said and done." And what you just witnessed was just another step for him to get to that point. That we also got to give Teofimo some understanding, like, he just fought Shakur. Canelo looked like that when he fought Floyd Mayweather and still became the biggest fucking star in boxing right after that, okay? Teofimo Lopez, the right decisions can be right back where that fucking locker room is full with all his people dick riding him again. He's only one fight away from switching that whole shit, so people should be real careful about turning their back on Teo right now, because he didn't lose to just anybody. He lost to the best.
Caesar with the $10 super chat was good. He said, yo, Punch, you are Teofimo's friend. I trust Coach Anthony. Let's go ahead and make that recommendation for Coach Anthony to be his new coach. Let me know if I can help anyway. Hey, yo, we've been trying. Hey, yo, I always want Coach Anthony, assisting or coaching, however he needs to help out with Teofimo Lopez. I feel like they have a good chemistry. I think that you understand his style. You understand that you're fresh, you're new, you have new ideas, you're innovative. You know what I'm saying? And a creative guy like a Teo with a creative guy with a Coach Anthony, also that you within the culture, you understand the younger, you younger, you're one of the youngest coaches out there. And I think that if Teo decides to search for a coach, assistant, a second hand, the main, whatever, I think a Coach Anthony fits very, very well with your style, the way that you break down things in the corner. You got your own gym. You got you build world champions. You very successful in the amateur and the professional level, and you live this, you breathe this. So I think that that would be a great addition.
Listen, there's a boxing etiquette where a trainer will never try to take another fighter, coach's fighter or whatever like that. So I would never go ahead and do that. That would be something where a guy like Teo would have to reach out to me organically. However, what I will say is this. If I was to train Teo, I would love to get him now while everybody's sleeping on this nigga now. Since everybody want to go ahead and turn their back on him, now is when I want Teo. I don't want Teo after you beat Lomachenko. I want Teo after you lose, so we can show you that this can be turned around. Because for real, to be honest, man, I don't think we saw the best version of Teofimo that night. I think something happened. I think his nerves shut down in his body. I think that the moment took over as soon as that bell rang. I think that something happened, a switch happened because of all the antics. As soon as that bell rang and he saw that Shakur was a live body in front of him who was physically stronger than he expected, I think that he shut down and he was just going through the motions. I didn't really see a Teofimo Lopez that was shooting good hard punches, and like his dad said, what happened to the power, bro? Honestly, that's
how everybody was feeling.
What happened to the power?
Yeah. Like I can understand that people wanted to hear the X and O's, but the thing that he was saying is how many people was feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true. It's like, yo, what the fuck is this, bro?
What happened to the game plan? Because of course I spoke to Stacy before the day before the fight. He was telling me about the game plan, how camp went, how they was emphasizing jabs. He was clocking his jab. He was throwing 170 to 200 jabs. He making an emphasis to throw so many jabs, right? Per round. You know what I'm saying? He was clocking them at 100 plus per round of jabs. That's what they was working on. They was working on a lot of combinations after combinations, 3s and 4s, no 1s and 2s. Shakur Stevenson is too smart, too good to be, So they was working on certain things and game planning that even Teofimo Lopez said after the fight, yo, my team had a good game plan. I didn't listen to them at all. I didn't do what the game plan was. I didn't execute. He didn't have no excuses. He didn't even put his team down the way that a lot of people felt that the team on him and things of that nature, right? He took it. He understand who Shakur is. I think that in social media, the fans think that these guys hate each other. They've been knowing each other since 11, 12 years old. They traveled the world together. They traveled to tournaments together. Shakur knows Teo very well personally. Both of these guys, I don't think that, and even with what I think also is, with the mind games, quote unquote, you're not going to play mind games with Shakur Stevenson. That's one. And if he knows you, he knows when you're not being serious. Like, you can't play the mind games when I know you. Like, if we know each other, I can't play mind games at you because you know me. So it's like, I think.
And I also want to make a quick point, not to cut you off. This is where you got to understand too. A lot of fighters got to understand, like, especially here in the United States, like a lot of these fighters, like a Teofimo Lopez and a Shakur, like you said, they know each other from the amateurs. They've sparred before. Shakur has sparred people who Teo has sparred. The rumors go around the gyms. So Teo knew how good Shakur really was. The fans didn't quite know yet. It's like with Jaron Ennis. Everybody here in the Philadelphia area keeps telling everybody, bro, this dude is the real deal, and you guys are gonna see. And you got all the people from the West Coast and all these different areas that don't know boots like we do. And they're like, look at his record. He ain't fought nobody. He's beating up tomato cans. Just wait. When he goes ahead and he fights a Virgil Ortiz and dominates, then everybody's going to be like, oh, my God. It ain't going to be a surprise to us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? It ain't going to be a surprise. It wasn't a surprise to the inner circles of this area when it came to Shakur and Teo, because we know what Shakur really has been doing to guys. I've seen Shakur spar in person against a really good quality fighter. I'm not going to say his name. This motherfucker didn't land a jab on Shakur for 10 rounds of sparring. I seen Shakur not get hit once against a professional who got 15 wins, was undefeated at the time, was a prospect. He couldn't land a freaking punch on Shakur. I was like, this is amazing. What am I looking at right now? And now the world is little by little getting to see, like, damn, this kid is just as good as Floyd Mayweather was, as good as, but he needs the right dance partners. He's going to keep doing it as he keeps fighting these guys. He's going to keep on proving it.
I don't think that the people should write off none of these guys. Like we promoted these guys like the new four kings, right? Add the Fab Five or something like that, right? Again, Teofimo Lopez lost to a generational talent. And I believe that these guys could all be generational talent. This is the reason why we say the four kings. Roberto Duran didn't beat Hagler. Roberto Duran didn't beat Hearns. He got knocked out in the second round, but they still kings. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody going to be undefeated. So I think that we don't know what Teo maybe in his next fight will fight Devin Haney. And let's say he beats Devin Haney. Let's say Devin Haney beats Teo. Or let's say Ryan Garcia beat Mario Barrios, and then Teo fights Mario Barrios and beat Ryan. We don't know. You know, they just 28 years old, 27 years old. So right now they're entering their prime right now. We don't know we don't know that these guys are going to do more incredible stuff. Think about it. Shakur Stevenson is the 4-division world champion, 2-time lineal. Teofimo Lopez is a 2-time lineal, and if it wasn't for the politics of the sport of boxing, everybody be recognizing him as a 2-division undisputed world champion by the age of 25. Devin Haney is an undisputed at lightweight 3-division world champion. Like at the age, look at their age, they're not even 30. They have accomplished. Imagine by the age of 34, 35, what these guys would have accomplished. If Shakur Stevenson decides to go to the 147-pound division right now and face Devin Haney, in which he could, because he's a WBO champion and could petition to become the mandatory to Devin Haney, and beats Devin Haney, he'll be a 5-division world champion by the age of 28. That'd be incredible. Like I think we're in our own golden era, and I think that we should appreciate even what Shakur Stevenson did and the respect that Teofimo Lopez fought Shakur Stevenson, because the sky's the limit for this era.
Yeah, those are all great talents, man. All those guys are extremely great fighters. But I think what separates Shakur from those other guys is just the amateur pedigree is a little bit steeper. And I think that's the separation that's going to show in the pros. Even though it's amateurs and it's only 3 rounds, when you fight internationally at the level that Shakur did, when you come to the pros, you just have a little edge. And I just think that he has that edge over even the Devin Haneys and like those guys all did well in the amateurs, but they didn't do quite as good as Shakur. Shakur is arguably a gold medalist. So I think that that's going to be the difference in the separation. The pedigree is a little bit deeper with Shakur, but those other guys are all great fighters.
Yo, let me add this to the quote that Shakur had, but this is the quote that Teofimo Lopez manager had today. He said, "A rumor that nobody was with Teo after the fight is nonsense. I was in the medical tent with him the most of the time, and he was there. I was gone for 5 to 10 minutes, period, where I walked back to the locker room to make sure his family was okay after he got cleared by doctor. We left the garden and we hung out back in the hotel till 6 a.m. with Teo." That's facts as well, because I left the hotel like around 8 o'clock in the morning. You know, there was credible people, there was good people there supporting Teofimo Lopez. I, in my opinion, just felt like it wasn't enough. It was like 80% was cut off. Put it this way, 95% of the was cut off in comparison to when he won. You know what I'm saying? And I felt bad for the champ. I think this picture right here is what defined the fight, in my opinion. This picture right here is what defined the fight. That jab, Teofimo Lopez trying to jab to the total plex, but it didn't have the effect that it could have had. But this counting the jab on top, I think that picture right there is what defined this fight. You know, if you could define this in one picture.
Well, I told you the lead hand being low. The lead hand being low and Shakur using a laser pinpoint jab was definitely what separated this fight. I mean, you know, he just didn't have a defense for the jab. And that's, you know, that was the main weapon that he needed to defend, because that's what Shakur was using the most. So you want to defend what the fuck your opponent's using the most. Somebody's throwing a left hook at you, you better bring that fucking right glove up. Or somebody's throwing a jab at you, you know, you gotta bring that lead hand up, bro. Or you better slip it. You better do something. You know, Teo's right back at the gym, by the way. You know what I'm saying? He showed a clip where he's back at the gym. What do you feel about that as a trainer? Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? The whole world is really coming at Teo, but still motivated to get right back up and get right back in the gym. How you feel about that? Does that motivate you as a coach? If his body's up to it, if he feels like he doesn't need some rest, you know, I would have recommended a little rest and get his mind together. But yeah, I mean, listen, whatever. Everybody got to deal with their stress their own ways. I mean, you know, but yeah, maybe this woke him up. Maybe this made him say, okay, hold up. I don't never want this shit to happen again. And maybe you'll see a 10-time better version of Teofimo Lopez. You know what I mean?
The last I seen that type of motivation to get right back in the gym so quick, because he said, man, I feel like fighting right now. You know, it was after the Sando Martin fight. After the Sando Martin fight, he went right back in the gym at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. Everybody left. He went right back in the gym, and he performed the way that he did with Josh Taylor. So he was high motivated to get right back in the ring and prove that he is who he is and who he say he is, or or who the guy that he's inspired to be. I think that I think by the end of 2026, I think he's gonna end it up. He's gonna end this year on an up and up. We've seen this before. I always say that greatness doesn't come with a comeback. Does you know what I'm saying? It does not come without a comeback. You know, every greatness had their comeback, and whatever sport you're talking about, whatever type of fighter, they always had a comeback. And I think that Teofimo Lopez have proved to the world that he could have a downfall and pick himself right back up. That defines a real champion.
Yeah, for sure. Because all the other guys in the division aren't quite like a Shakur, as disciplined as Shakur to fight a super disciplined fight. They're more willing to engage and mix it up, and if you mix it up with Teo and he catches you with something clean, you know, he's a live dog against anybody. So, you know, Shakur, like I said, he's just a difficult guy to beat. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say it here now. I don't think anybody's gonna beat Shakur in his career.
Me either.
I think he's gonna retire just like Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather, undefeated. I really can't see who beats him. Not even a Tank Davis, you know, especially with the inactivity of a Tank Davis. But even if Tank was active, I think the height, I think that would have been a big issue. And I just think the defense is too good, you know. And he's very disciplined. He's okay with fighting his fight. He don't care what the crowd has to say. So guys like that are very difficult to beat, man.
Yo, but that's what I told you when leading up to the fight when we make our prediction. I said that even though when the smoke is clear, I always felt that it was going to be Teo versus Shakur. I always felt like that, you know. But you know, of course, I did have Teo. But if anybody would beat Teo at his best, not having health issues, none of that, not the Cambosis issue, at his best, it will be Shakur.
Yeah,
I believe he has the intangible. I think that now, especially for now, is written that he will be undefeated. I don't see nobody being Shakur Stevenson. I do.
I think Devin Haney pushes him, challenges him. I think.
To be honest, I think that I see that as well. I could see this at their best. I could see everything. I could see all of them. I'm not saying that Shakur beating Devin Haney like he's going to be, Devin Haney's going to do bad. I'll give him the edge. I'll give Shakur Stevenson the edge, but I think it'll be a good fight. You know, I think it'll be a good fight. You know, I truly think so. And I think that Shakur Stevenson should. I don't think that he should worry about the weight. You know, because he said that he will probably want Devin Haney in a rehydration clause. I don't think that that's going to be a factor, in my opinion. I think he has the opportunity to go to 147 and fight Devin Haney. If it was like a guy that's been at 147 for a long time and a pure welterweight, but Devin Haney just went up. So it's not like he's this big dude, you know, compared to the other guys. Like we saw his body. We saw Shakur. Shakur actually looked bigger than Teofimo Lopez.
I know, man, he did, and he looked stronger too.
Yeah, so
like the way Teo was punching didn't look like he had the same pop that Shakur had. Like I said, Teo looked a little off, man. I'm gonna be honest, and I don't want to make an excuse for Teofimo Lopez or take away any credit from Shakur because I picked Shakur, but that definitely wasn't the best Teo. It might have been because the jab just zapped the energy from his body, and he just didn't. He just felt like, oh my God, I don't think I could do anything with this guy. And maybe something happened to his nervous system, but that was not a confident, strong version of Teofimo. You see it go away like that.
Even when he was coming, even when they showed him in the screen in the ring before they started fighting, it ain't seem like, you know what I'm saying?
I just got to live up to that hype. He did all this hype, and now he's like, fuck, I got to live up to this shit.
And I remember I said to his dad leading up to the fight, I'm like, yo, whatever y'all do, man, just make sure y'all limit all that media run. They're going to have y'all do a bunch of interviews and all that, man. Cut that shit to like 5 minutes or worse. Just don't do it. They just, you know what I'm saying? This is your biggest challenge. You know, Shakur, this is the biggest challenge, man. You know what you up against, you know? F it. You don't got to do all these media run. It's already sold out. You don't got to do all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I understand it's also entertainment. You know, it was cool seeing, the walk-in. It was cool. I like what Teo brings to the table. I love what Teo brings to the table in type of energy. You know, we don't got a lot of those type of characters in the sport. We don't got a lot of
I
showmanship.
thought this was his best promotion by far. Unfortunately, it was his worst performance, but it was his best promotion. Like I was like, damn, Tio actually did a great job marketing this fight. I just wish he fought as well as the marketing went. And I just don't think he fought as good as he can. I know Tio is better. Tio's definitely better than what we saw.
He said the media played a part in him losing. Wow. No, nobody's saying that the media played a part. Ain't you listening, man? I said that he should limit the media run so he won't exert all that energy leading up to a fight, the biggest fight. My goodness, bro. Yo, even when you say shit, it's like, should I say it in Spanish?
They just waiting right now. There's people in that chat right now just waiting, like, please.
They desperate for
an excuse. Not gonna attack these motherfuckers.
Yeah, ain't no excuse, man. He won fair and square, bro. He won fair and square. Tio took that loss. He don't have no excuse. Me as a fan and a supporter, I don't have no excuse. I have a highly respect for Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson, all that have highly respect. And that's what I mean about certain fighters. There's certain fighters that are emotional, that they're the type to be like, oh, stay on that side, mother F. I ain't fucking with you. You know what I'm saying? I congratulated Shakur Stevenson, and Shakur Stevenson said, yo, good, thank you, man. Thank you. Hope that, you know, his mental is good, you know what I'm saying, by the end of the fight, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's you know, everybody know that I'm rocking with Tio 10 toes down, bro. Win, lose, or draw, in and out the ring. Feel me? So, but I'm not going disrespecting somebody. You know, Shakur is a hell of a fighter. Been a fan. When a lot of people saying that he's a boring fighter, I'm not saying that he a boring fighter. When people saying that he's running, I'm like, yo, something wrong with Shakur Stevenson in that end of De Los Santos. Something was wrong. Nobody needed to tell me. Well, once you see somebody in the amateurs for all these years and see all their fights in the pros, and then he's doing nah, something is wrong with him. And then what happened? He broke his hand. You could identify it. The same thing with Gervonta Tan Davis versus Pitbull Cruz. Something is wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't fight like that. You know, something is wrong. You could tell when something is wrong. I think there's a lot of fans that just stick to highlights and don't really know the fighter and watch the fighter and really come up with the fighters and shit like that.
Not facts.
What you feel about Keyshawn Davis?
Man, impressive.
What happened to your boy Jermaine Ortiz, man?
Man, bro, he looked nervous. He fought with nervous energy that whole fight. One thing I'm gonna say is Keyshawn, Shakur, Raymond Ford, somebody who I trained. These guys are confident fighters, and Keyshawn showed an extreme amount of confidence. I mean, the way he stepped to Jermaine Ortiz, the whole entire fight, his personality, his presence, his reactions when punches came at him was just so confident that he knew he was going to break him down and win. I think it took Jermaine out of his game. Jermaine didn't know what to do. Jermaine was just hopping around and he was just throwing anything. He really couldn't find himself in that fight, where Keyshawn just stepped to him, and then started placing those hard shots and stopping him with 11 seconds or 13, whatever it was. Just a very impressive victory. He made me a believer, man, because I wasn't the biggest Keyshawn believer, but his last two performances, man, he's shown, man, that he's really that.
Nah, I better believe in Keyshawn way before the pros, man. We used to talk about Keyshawn leading up to the Olympics out here, man.
I know. I mean, a lot of people did. Me personally, I didn't, because I never really watched his amateur career. And I've seen a couple of his performances as a pro, and I'm like, let's see when he fights somebody. But his last two performances, he's fought some good fighters, and he's proven that he's good. Like, he's really fucking good. He's going to be a very difficult guy to beat too, man. He's going to be another one. Again, an Olympic silver medalist. So, I mean, I think it's time to
look he's sharpening his tools with, bro.
Exactly. Olympic silver medalist, and you're working out with your comrade from your, like, this is what I mean when we talk about these guys' amateur backgrounds. It matters. Guys don't want to say it matters, but it's the truth. That's what separates great fighters from the good fighters, is how long have they been doing it? At what level have they been doing it? You know,
and then who they surround themselves with, you know, again,
that's why all those guys training with each other, bro. Come on, man. They don't even need a fucking trainer. They just work out with each other.
Yeah.
The motherfucker tells them, hey, man, go do your run and eat right, bro. They fucking training themselves, and they're impossible to beat. But
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about guys that could really fight. These ain't no regular boxers. These are top of what we have right now.
And then you got Andre Ward, and you got Bud Crawford. You sparring with Bud
As
Crawford.
your those are your big homies. Like imagine that's your big homies.
And then you talk to Floyd Mayweather all the time, like yeah, like that's it, man.
They're cheating. They're like cheating in a way. Like you motherfuckers are cheating, bro.
but you know what? That's what greatness is all about. You got to invest in greatness as well. It's like Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield, he paid David Tua to prepare him to fight Mike Tyson, and paid him more than his fight purses. And was a better sparring partner to prepare for Mike Tyson than David Tua. That's the perfect sparring partner around that time, right? So, and you got to prepare. You got to prepare. You know what I'm saying? You can't have lackluster preparation for guys. Like once you win that level, man, you got to spend. You got to have the best nutrition, the best strength and conditioning coach. You got to have chemistry with your peoples and stuff like that. The people got to be the extension of your goals as well. You know, a great team is a great team is a team that take weight off your shoulder, not put weight on it.
Right. Well said.
But yo, anything new? Anything you did?
Yeah,
You got crow for me. You got crow guisada with arroz con pollo. I mean, con arroz con guandule.
Say that one more time.
You got crow with arroz con guandule. Because I got to eat crow, man. Crow, I got crow bagel in the morning, crow omelet. You know what I'm saying? I got a bunch of crows.
Damn. Now, I mean, listen, bro, it is what it is. You showing your face. You taking the L on the chin, you know what I'm saying? And that's it. That's
what I want to, bro. You know the 95 of the boxing world pick against Josh Kelly versus Bakram? I got Josh.
You know crazy? I didn't see that fight. And when I heard Josh Kelly won, I said, oh, shit.
Why you hit me back then, huh? Why you ain't hit me back?
No, I never seen Bakram fight. I just kept hearing about this guy. I know he was undefeated. I'm like, damn, this is gonna be a hell of a fight because we all know Josh Kelly could fight, but when he won, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go on YouTube see if I can see that fight.
Another thing, Josh Kelly, amateur pedigree, and that's what I was saying leading up to the fight. I said, yo, Josh Kelly, everybody thought he was gonna get knocked out in the third round. I'm like, yo, y'all know Josh Kelly because I've been talking about Josh Kelly. When I created my channel, I was talking that the future mega fight is gonna be Josh Kelly versus Jerome Boots Ennis. When nobody was talking about Jerome Boots Ennis. I wasn't even saying Boots versus Virgil Ortiz. It was Boots versus Josh Kelly, and now look where we at right now.
Yeah, I mean now we're talking about a good fight.
Even though that I think Boots is gonna beat Josh Kelly, but I always felt that matchup, that pedigree, will be good. I think now Virgil have emerged because Virgil Ortiz in the amateurs really wasn't. In my opinion, wasn't that special because, you know, he was losing to Ryan Garcia. He had several losses. It wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? I think that Virgil Ortiz had more of a pro style than anything else. But I think that's going to be a good fight. I think the 154-pound division is a stacked division. You just never know who's going to come up and win, bro.
Yeah, facts. But yeah, man, you know.
Yeah, man. Yo, everybody subscribe to my brother, Coach Anthony. You got any final words?
That's it, bro. I just want to get on here, man. Show love, man. And you know, that's it. Talk a little bit about this fight, man. It was actually I had a really good time watching it. The whole card was pretty fun to watch. So that's it, man. And tell Tio, man, I'm here for him when he's ready, man.
Shout out to the takeover. Shout out to Shakur Stevenson. Shout out to this era, golden era. We in the golden era, folks. We in the gold. Hey, yo, and put it this way. It's only January. It's only the beginning of the year.
What a way to kick off the year. Damn.
Shit.
Hopefully Tio gets another phone call to fight real soon. I don't want him to he shouldn't take too long of a break from fighting.
Get back in May. Get back in May or June. As soon as that cut heals.
Yeah, give him a tough fight, but a fight he can win, and then in the September, throw him in there with another big dog, a Devin Haney or somebody like that.
Hey, that's what
you know. And I think you got yourself. He got an opportunity to bounce back, you know, big time with that.
Hey, yo, I believe he's great. I believe he's great. So I think I know he's gonna bounce back, just like how Devin Haney bounced back. You know what I'm saying? Just like how these great fighters in the past have bounced back. If they're great, they're gonna bounce back. And I think that Teofimo Lopez have enough wins to let the people know that, you know, I'm here to stay. I just took a loss with a generational challenge, arguably could be the best of this generation. So once you look back in your career and you got, oh shit, I lost to this one. I mean, I had a hiccup here. You know what I'm saying? Like, end of the day, people gonna understand this era, and they're gonna appreciate the era. If y'all don't appreciate this era right now, trust me, you're gonna appreciate the era when it's all said and done.
Facts.
All right, I'm out of here, bro.
I'm out, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you for having me. Peace out to everybody in the chat.
Peace out. We back at it tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Later.